Ladies and gentlemen, the world of professional wrestling never stops, and welcome to another ridiculous report. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez lost the women's tag team championships to Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, but won the titles back the following night on Raw. However, on last night's episode of Raw, Liv Morgan hinted that she might be taking some time away from WWE for a major film role. Been speculation that maybe it's in a Marvel movie, a Spider-Man movie. Well, it turns out that's not the case. According to a new report from PW Insider Elite, it's a dramatic role for Morgan, and a source close to the project said it's one of the most impressive gets imaginable. So we'll see what that means for Liv Morgan. She's going to be an Academy Award-winning actress soon. Who knows? She's very talented. The past couple years of her career have shown her versatility, what she's capable of.
I love you too, small child.
You're disgusting! Shut up!
She's not just a professional wrestler. She's a character. She can cut promos. She can act. So we'll see what the project is. I'm excited for Liv Morgan. I'm not excited for what this means for the women's tag team championships at all. I don't like this at all. Why have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez win the titles back only for Liv Morgan to go on hiatus? I can't imagine she just found out about this project right after WrestleMania, so I don't understand the booking. At this rate, Bayley should have just still been in the match, and Becky Lynch could have returned on the Raw after WrestleMania and cost them the titles against another team. I don't understand why. It's so very convoluted here. Liv Morgan's a champion again, but she's going on hiatus. So is someone going to be subbing in for Liv Morgan? Is a female star going to join the Judgment Day and defend the titles with Raquel Rodriguez while Liv Morgan's away? Are they going to relinquish the title? How long is she going to be away? This could be a several-month thing if she's in a lead role. So we'll see. There's going to be more news about whatever the project is next week. But I'm happy for Liv Morgan. Don't understand what it means for the women's tag team division. And honestly, I'm already kind of annoyed at how they're booking it since WrestleMania anyway. Nic Nemeth, formerly known in WWE as Dolph Ziggler, has had a successful run in TNA and on the independent scene since leaving WWE. He also regularly appears on Busted Open Radio and had some interesting comments recently about Pat McAfee's promo last night on Raw. He suggested that he wouldn't be surprised if people backstage, wrestlers backstage, were upset with that promo because it's another spot for Pat McAfee. He gets to cut a promo on the announce table, and Nemeth noted that everybody's fighting for 4 or 5 matches on a PLE now. If it's not WrestleMania, it's only 4 or 5 matches at Backlash. So one of them is going to be Pat McAfee versus Gunther. So it makes sense that wrestlers backstage wouldn't be thrilled that Pat McAfee gets a spot on Backlash. Nemeth's exact quote was, "We're fighting for 4 pay-per-view matches here. I'm trying to get on the card. I've got a good story going. I've busted my ass. I've made it here. They're using me for the commercials. And now one more pay-per-view spot goes to another guy that kind of works here. I'd be pissed." That's his exact quote, and I can understand that sentiment. WWE's clearly looking for viral moments. Pat McAfee has a popular talk show. Logan Paul's a massive star outside of the company. That's the direction they're going in. It sucks for people who just want to be pro wrestlers. You have to be able to cut a promo. You got to do a lot of other things besides just have great in-ring work now to get popular, get a spot, get a push in WWE. You have to be a lot more than just a great in-ring worker now. John Goblicon. This is just popped up on my feed right now, and I have to talk about it for 10 seconds. John Goblicon, the host of Right Now, the guy dressed as a goblin. He'll be on TNA Wrestling next week. If you don't know that podcast, check it out. It's hilarious. There were some matches made official for Backlash during last night's episode of Raw. Obviously, we got John Cena defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Randy Orton in his hometown of St. Louis. Cena and Orton have an epic history together. This will be an intense match. We'll see if they'll extend the rivalry past Backlash. But another match announced last night was Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That match is official. I'd like to think that the goal of this rivalry is to make Lyra Valkyria into a bigger star, so I'm expecting Valkyria to get that win. And then we got Gunther versus Pat McAfee made official. No stipulations, just a singles match so far. And obviously it looks like we're heading towards Jey Uso defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. So we got Logan Paul and Pat McAfee on the same card at Backlash. Some big matches for this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. First up, we got an all-star tag team match. It'll be Mark Briscoe, Kenny Omega, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight versus the Young Bucks, Ricochet, and Okada. Of course, how could I forget Okada?
She's on me, bitch!
The Owen Hart tournament will also be continuing. Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher. That should be a great match. We'll also hear from MJF and AEW Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate. That's it for this edition of The Ridiculous Report. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Thanks.